legislation behind establishing ART laboratories, also the guidelines to basically um, ensure that we have the right kind of equipment, we are following all the rules and regulations, and we're giving the best to our patients. So for this, no one better than Dr. Pankaj Talwar to enlighten us.
Thank you so much for this. I won't take much. I won't, without an ado, I'll move to my topic for the day. So this is it. Now, as we are moving, we know that today is, I think, 46th year of the first baby born in India. It took a long time to make some regulations and rules in our country, but finally they are here. They've been notified and they are punishable. That's the way things have come up now. They have put a lot of us under a scanner, like everywhere, as a very, very good thing which government has done for us. I've been hearing a lot about the patient management and how we attain good number of pregnancy rate. Babies born today are under a scanner themselves because they are being barcoded, they got DNA fingerprinting done. I'll just take you through IU and IVF, the two type of regulations we have had in our country. And there are the various parts of our regulations, planning, permissions, manpower, equipment, consent forms. A large amount has been spoken about it, but it'll take you to the guidelines which run us. And in our country, we call it a gazette or the Rajpatra. So we had our first guidelines coming to us in form of an act. And as you can see here, it came on 20th of December. So 20th of December of 21, we got the first guidelines in our country, as you can see here, 21, and then we have been following it. And whenever guidelines are made, they are regulated. The acts which are made, they are been run in the form of a rule. So we had the first rules coming in our country on March 22. This is the first important landmark day we had. And rules are the ones which are made to run the regulations, the guidelines. And then finally, whenever the rules are made, they are debated. And finally, we had something coming in the country in the form of a notification. And they were the final rules made in the country. And that came on 7th of June of 22. This is what we are now following. So what I'll do is quickly, gentlemen, ladies, I'll take you through how all the things developed. I have been given 15 minutes. I've already taken 2 minutes out of it. So we have two type of clinics in our country. It may be differing from US or UK. In our country, we have two type of levels of clinic, level 1 and level 2. Level 1 is an IUI clinic and level 2 is an IVF clinic. Simply, you have to remember that. When the rules came in month of March, they said that we have to pay 1 lakh rupees for a level 1 clinic, and that's an IUI clinic. And for level 2, we have to pay rupees 5 lakhs. These were the rules which came in month of March of 22. And gentlemen, ladies, immediately following which we had the final rules coming on 7th of June. This is what we are following now. And they have given a different interpretation. They say we have to pay 50,000 for level 1 clinic and 2 lakhs for a level 2 clinic. That sums up how we start and opt for a particular level of clinic. These are money we have to pay. And now we are ready to make our own IVF unit or an IUI unit. We heard Keshav speak about the floor plan. We heard Dr. Jason speak about the how do we control the air. We heard at great length about the total quality management, the spirituality, what Dr. Karunakar spoke. I think he really meant Lean Six Sigma concept, which I follow to the hilt. And every point we ask 5 whys and we do RC and kappa. Only then we can attain such high pregnancy rate. So now, for all of you, I've been told by Dr. Karsi and Dr. Keshav to speak about what all equipment to buy, how to buy, and what are the qualities. So in case you look at the March 22 guidelines, they are pretty detailed ones, and the manpower here is, as you know, that they wanted 2 gynecologists, a lab director, they wanted a lot many people, 2 embryologists. And in our country, when we make any rules, for the manpower, we follow something called Schedule 1, Part 1. That's what we follow for the manpower. And in case you look at what they wanted. This is a level 1 ART clinic. They wanted 7 out of these 7 items they required. I'll come back to them very quickly. But before that, I'll take you to level 2 clinic. The level 2 clinic, what my speakers, my co-panelists spoke, we required something called an HVAC unit, and they spoke about laminar flow bench with thermostatically controlled heating plates. We call them laminar biosafety cabinets. They have not classified level class 1, 2, 3, but I assume that we are talking about class 1 biosafety cabinets. They spoke about walls and flooring, how to make them. We spoke about modular ones or biocladding, but here they have said use any which can be cleaned. And they did speak about 8 changes per hour. Then they spoke at great length about, now this is a beautiful document, guys. They spoke about an IVF grade stereozoom microscope with CCD camera, the trinocular microscope with the recording software. Same thing they spoke about a light microscope. So they are not talking about a phase contrast here, so speaking about a light microscope. Again, they have said a new term, which is very, very interesting. That's an IVF grade. They want us to buy an IVF grade light microscope, which we always have a debate, which is a IVF grade light microscope. But good thing is that they speak about having a CCD camera and a recording software for proper documentation. They want a high-end inverted microscope with a video recording facility. I absolutely agree to these things. They spoke about having a micro manipulator. You can buy any. They all are the same. We spoke about a CO2 incubator. So we are limiting ourselves with a CO2 incubator. And this is 1 year back. It's not very far off. It's barely 1.5 years back. They said, have a CO2 incubator with a backup. This means that you can have probably 2 CO2 incubators. And they sum it up. We need a centrifuge machine. We need equipment for freezing embryos. Then we need some liquid nitrogen cans for infected samples. They spoke about here. The very nice thing they spoke about having a pharmaceutical refrigerator, which I always keep training people, is a high-end medical grade refrigerator, and it's cost some amount of money. Spoke about heating plates, test tube heaters. So in all, they ended up by making compulsory for all the labs VOC, photo ionization detector. One previous speaker spoke about 400 to 500 parts per billion, if that's the right number as per the Caro consensus. It spoke about biometrics. So these are few lovely things which it spoke about, and this made us buy 21 plus 1 spare incubator. So we had 22 items which we had to buy. So 21 biomedical equipment we had to buy as per the guidelines, as per March rules. Now coming to the how do we demarcate our areas? Keshav spoke about how we demarcate our areas. We speak about, I have red, amber, green, but it may differ from country to country. But they spoke about what all parameters we need in every lab. This is a level 2 ART clinic. They have told us what all we are needing. And they said that they spoke about an autoclave room is a must here. And that's the way they divided all the areas. So areas have been divided, but not actually specified what areas we have. Now moving ahead, these are the moving ahead. Now coming to the final guidelines, which came on 7th of June. Here I want you to focus on few little things, everyone. It brought down the manpower. We spoke about for how many embryologists, how many cases, how many embryologists, how many cases, how many clinicians. But here they have said that we should have a minimum of 1 gynecologist and we should have 1 embryologist, and that's all they have said. So after this, what we do is our own guidelines, and Keshav and myself, we were totally involved together in making Indian guidelines around 8 years back, which are still holding true. But they have kept it very open. They have not given any number of cases which we are supposed to do as per the guidelines. Now, important point here is, which I want to bring your focus, and then before that, I'll take you to the initial guidelines. Here, they never recommended us to buy. They said you buy a micro manipulator, but they didn't talk about OPU pumps. They said OPU pumps they've not written about OPU pumps here. Neither they mentioned a sperm counting chamber, but we had to buy 22 units, different sort of items. So now coming to the newer guidelines, and this is it, and they say this is all what we require. Now I'll bring your focus to how we run clinics in our country. They said we need a microscope. What type of microscope we have to buy? Which we have to buy, binocular, trinocular. Somewhere that it's been kept open. They have not told us how many to buy. Second is incubators. 2 in number, fantastic. You can buy humidified, or you can buy dry, or you can buy triple gas or with a mixer. So then they have said that we have to get a laminar airflow. Again, there is not much of a clarity. They've left it open so that we can all adapt and we can, they want to help everyone to start working. Laminar airflows, they have kept it open. And then there is no mention about an HVAC unit here. Pump counting chambers have been added. Centrifuge machine and the refrigerator. Now again, it is not a pharmaceutical refrigerator, it is a refrigerator. Equipment for cryopreservation is we don't carry out any slow freezing anymore. So they have spoken about probably we are buying some sort of cryo devices from LN2 and cryo cans. I fully agree to this. Then they speak about having an OPU pump, an ultrasound machine, test tube warmer, and anesthesia machine. But here, gentlemen, ladies, there is no mention of an ICSI machine. So in case you want to start an IVF unit, we can start without an ICSI machine. This is one. It has both the silver lining as well as dark clouds, because I feel that without an ICSI machine we cannot work, but we have been given an option. Now here the consent forms are very important, and just the way they have decided the consent forms. Few are for the ART bank, and some are these are for the ART banks, and then there are some for the ART clinics. So there are in total there are 17 forms. I won't go into details here, but we is a part of total quality management. What what was brought out by some paper by Dr. Keshav, he spoke about how do we make new KPIs. So these consent forms are our KPIs, and I'll just take you to the form from form 1. I'll take you to form number 14, the form number 9, 10, 12. The form which is important for us in the lab is the form 14B, which has been made as per the rule 13, and this supersedes every forms. Now here again, I like to bring out that we are talking about few numbers. We're not talking about KPIs at any point of time. There are no KPIs are there. I think we all have to sit down and make KPIs for our Indian population. They speak about the injection time, hyaluronidase using day 0, day 1. So they want all of us to go at every day and try to grade our embryos. This is our guidelines, and we are following this. And we have to submit our data to the DHR on monthly basis. And this is about what we are doing at this point of time. And what I was put up a question: what KPIs are we following in our country? As in the corporate, there are 33 KPIs, but here KPIs, we have to find our own KPIs. And then I'll move to IUI very quickly. This is also part of a lab, and IUI is very important. We are handling gametes here. Look at the guidelines of March 22. These are the rules. And they said we have to have these 7 things. Very interesting. If you look at it, they spoke about a centrifuge machine, an ultrasound machine, laminar airflow. Laminar airflow, they have specified, but what type of flow is not there. They spoke about a binocular microscope, an incubator, semen washing facility, a refrigerator. Open statement. What type of refrigerator? Not mentioned. Then came the 7th June, what we have to do. So from 7, we have to come to 3. They say that we need only a gynecologist to run an IUI clinic on level 1, and then the number of things which they say we have to buy here. They say that we can do with a microscope, centrifuge machine, and a refrigerator. I call it a formula of MCR. So we say, look, go back. They say that we can run a clinic of IUI, the centrifuge machine. We need a refrigerator, and we need a microscope. So they have deleted laminar airflow, ultrasound machine, incubator, and semen washing. So we need only these 3 items. That's the way we are gradually evolving. I think we'll have more maturity in coming few years. And this is very important to, as per our KPIs, we have to fill the consent forms and submit our data. So to conclude, gentlemen, ladies, my answer will be that as a clinician, as a doctor, as an embryologist, as a nurse, at any point of time, we're under a scanner. So we should all, the KPIs are our protectors. They protect us from getting shot in the wrong way. And always keep it in the mind that we are always under a hammer. Our stethoscope, our books on medicine, the laws are over them. So we have to always keep a watch on what we are doing